Does your homeowner's insurance policy cover hurricane damage in North Carolina? What if I told you it may not? And I'm not kidding here. These insurance policies, they can be difficult to understand. And that lack of understanding could be trouble for you if the Atlantic Ocean decides to spin up a monster. We are in lead up to what is peak hurricane season, which is roughly around September 10th, early September, and it really runs all the way through the end of November. Eastern North Carolina has seen their fair share of hurricanes in the past couple years. You don't need me to tell you that Hurricane Matthew and Florence has devastated this area. The real question is, how did your insurance policy respond to those events? And are you confident that you've got the coverage correctly and in place for anything that could happen this season? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. The most important thing that you need to be paying attention to is your deductible. Because we're in North Carolina and situated on the Atlantic coast, there is a lot of fine print that the insurance companies have built into their policies, which may, in effect, exclude the damage that you would sustain from a wind, hail, hurricane type event. How, you might ask? Well, deductibles aren't as simple as you might think they are.
Wait, I thought it was just like $1,000 or something.
There is a clever pricing mechanism called split wind-hail deductible that will greatly affect the amount of premium that the insurance company charges for your home. So let me explain. Many companies will actually give you a standard deductible, one deductible, that would cover most things that you could think about. Trees falling on my roof, a fire starts in the frying pan in the kitchen, water pipe bursts in the wall, someone breaks in and decides to steal my china.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Those are things that are covered by a standard deductible. But then sometimes there's this little sneaky percentage deductible that comes in for the often larger claims that would happen to the home for wind and hail events. It might read a little something like this. On your declaration page on your home policy, if you pull it out, you would see the deductible section. That section would list $1,000 all perils, but then it would be below that 2% wind hail deductible applies. If you had a $200,000 house, that was the stated replacement value, the insurance company would require you to first assume the first 2% of that home. So that would be, in this case, in a $200,000 example, $4,000, $4,000. And so you can imagine, if you had a hurricane that blew through here and took off a bunch of shingles and tore off siding, blew in some windows, you're responsible for the first $4,000. That may mean essentially, if it's just minor damage or you've got moderate damage but it's not a total loss, that you really would have no coverage afforded to you or very little coverage afforded to you on the policy itself. And I see this almost every week. Customers come into our office and want to find the best possible deal they can on home insurance, which they rightfully should. But they often are so focused on the price that they forget that the coverage is just as important. And what drives me crazy is that just for a few bucks more, they could have every bit of coverage that they truly need. That's not to say that North Carolina doesn't have its share of challenging insurance situations. If you live in one of our 20 coastal counties, you may very well be required to carry a separate wind and hail insurance deductible on your homeowner's policy. So that's enough about deductibles. Let's move into another huge discussion about flood insurance. If you live in Eastern North Carolina, I hope you know by now that flood insurance is a big deal. Flood is not a covered peril on just about any homeowner's policy. In fact, in North Carolina, 134,000 homes total out of 10 million actually have flood coverage on their property. That is insanely low. Additionally, 50% of the losses from flood occur outside of designated flood zones. Areas like Lumberton, Carteret County, and some others experienced extreme devastation, and it should speak for itself that this is an important issue regarding protecting your assets in this region. Bottom line is this: if water rises from the ground and damages your home or the interior of your home, your homeowner's insurance policy will not respond. So let me bring this home. You have worked way too hard and have paid way too much to these insurance companies for them to turn around and say, I'm sorry, it's just not covered. So pay attention to these two things: deductibles and flood insurance. If you would like a second set of eyes on your insurance policies, of course, we would be more than happy to take a look for you. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us and give us a call. Our contact information and other ways that you can communicate with us will be linked here in the video description. On behalf of all of us here at Callahan & Rice Insurance, thanks for watching.